See this lamp on the floor that looks like a candlestick? Let's see if it's junk or if it's treasure. Ceramic and brass, nickel knob. I think this is a quality lamp. This will clean up just fine. I'll start taking it apart by removing the nut on the bottom with pliers. And I'll keep taking off nuts. This all-thread rod runs all the way up the middle of the lamp. So many nuts. All these parts seem to be uncutted brass with a natural patina. This brake is solid cast brass. The green paint was chipped and blistered. I thought about repainting it, but scuff sanding didn't work. As long as I'm taking it down to bare metal, I might as well put a chemical patina on it. More fun. wish I could get this side to look like this side. I think the secret is this side, the patinating solution settled on it. So what I need to do is repeat the process but this way up. But it won't fit in the bowl this way. But I think I can do it in this dish pan. I'll just have to dilute it a lot. But I think it'll be okay. Leave this sticking out. It's already got a pretty good patina on it. I think when it dries it'll turn brown. Wish it was a little bit rounder. Get that heat in there. I use really hot water. Let's see what happened in here. I left this overnight. Here's my little string rig. You don't want to touch it at all. This powdery stuff has to dry on there evenly. Ooh, look. Pretty. Okay, I'm a little worried about the water that's filled up this little lip, but I don't know how to tip it out of there. Well, I guess I can touch the top of this because it wasn't in the solution. So I can just sort of dump it out. Oh man, that made this run. I definitely don't want it to run back up, I think. Because this is going to be so cool looking when that dries. It's going to look awesome. This green's all going to come off, but it'll be blotchy and brown underneath, I think. Brown and red. It's going to look really cool. This took long though. I definitely committed an art on this lampshade. I wish this hadn't done that, but what are you gonna do? If I touch it now, it'll really mess it up. Look how iridescent that is. That's so cool. See the other side? Looking good. Very even and brown. Ooh, it looks like I murdered a horseshoe crab. They'll never find the body. I don't know if these are going to work. Probably not. I don't know why I bother saving partial cans of spray paint. These little cans, this is the way to go. to do a time lapse of waxing the brass parts of this lamp. So these had a pretty good patina. I washed these and I cleaned them, but I tried to preserve the patina. This is the original finish, and then it patinaed like this naturally in that old trailer. So I want to preserve that. So I'm going to wax it. Okay, I have another one of these, slightly longer. I'm going to just do this again. Alright, now this is slightly longer so this metal doesn't stick out. That's good. So now I need this just to be slightly shorter. This one actually seems to just push on nice, so if I can just get it to do that, then, and then this was the right length, I think that would be perfect. So I need to do this just one saw blade shorter. just tightens down onto the plastic. I need to make it bigger than that diameter. Binding up down here. Okay, how do I make a round hole into a slot? Working with only things I can reach from this rolling chair. This is basically a rat tail file. Problem might be the inside thing. That's what the problem is. The outside one at all. I have plugged it in. Ooh, ow, my eyes. I'm not loving the knob. It's not working as well as I want it to. It feels like it's binding right there. I'm not sure what to do about it. It works though. I gotta work on it some more though. Plug it, Barbara, so you don't electrocute yourself like you did last night. Very good. I decided to take this thing apart more, and I got this off. I have to remember which way it went. Yikes. So now I can clean this mechanism. Yay. Let's take a look at this contact. Not bad. Not bad. There's not even a spring in this thing except the springiness of this actual thing. I found some deoxit in my electrical bin in the shed. It's a fancy lubricant and contact treatment. I think I'll put some in here. Be fancy. There's not very many threads for the knob to even go on. Like 3 threads. You could just turn it forever the same direction. Okay, this is all cleaned. I've polished that with denatured alcohol. On. Off. So it's this underside of this tab right here that makes the contact. I'm going to try to get out the deepest pits. It'll just remove too much material. That's good enough. Okay, this makes sense. So the little washer goes inside the slot so that it stops this piece from moving through the slot. So it stops it pulling out. That's where it goes. And it also stops it going down too far. It lets it come up and down a little bit. That's why I was getting so much play in the knob. But once I get it lined up with the plastic parts and it's square, I think it will operate satisfactorily. Hot glue worked as a replacement for the phenolic chunk that I broke. That's probably just how they manufactured this. Only not hot glue. Polymers, yay. Alright, now back to the, oh wait, that's supposed to go through here. The 3 holes are all covered. So the long guy there. Okay, so this screw attaches the surrounding of the lamp socket to the wiring. So that's why this has to be the neutral side of the wire. And I don't think it is. Okay. So this, actually this might be the neutral side. Okay, so this is neutral. And the way to be sure, take your $4 Harbor Freight, Harbor Freight voltmeter that you've accidentally left turned on and run the battery down. Not really, this is... Alright, so the wide guy is neutral. That's the side with the ridges on the wire. Please be this one, please be this one. Yay, okay. So the neutral side of the wire goes to the surrounding part of the socket. And the hot side of the wire should go to this button in the middle. But only if it's turned on. So there's our little thingy. There's our little thing. Now we make contact. So now from the narrow side of the plug, I get like less than an ohm just touching the two things together. So touching the center button, that's pretty good contact. Look at that. Just as good as touching the contacts to each other. That's awesome. How's my return path? Return path 1 ohm. If I touch it directly to the thing. Yeah, it's still 1 ohm. I can get it a little lower. What if I touch the actual wire? Yeah, even if I'm touching the actual wire, it's still 0.8 ohms. Cool. That's good. I think I wired it up right. And I will turn off my meter. Maybe the battery will still work the next time I need to check something. So the moral of the story here is that this will work either way, but this way is less likely to shock you. So if you touch this part, it won't shock you. But if you stick your finger in here when it's turned on and touch that, that would shock you. Especially if you did it like that, it would shock you between the tip of your finger and the side of your finger. Don't do that. Now, just because I have some, I'm going to put this stuff on the contacts just to protect it from corrosion now that I've got it all nice and clean. This is complete overkill, but I found this stuff and it was expensive, so I will use it. Tiny little bit. I'll just operate my switch, get it on both sides of the contact. I don't have an instrument sensitive enough to measure the difference that this goop makes. This goes on first, very tight. Feels nice. Oh, that feels nice.